What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Masquerada. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we walk past this lady in her Chiquita banana hat. And hopefully she doesn't, hit us with it on the way by.
If things do not go well inside...
I will not abandon you.
It's not that. I need you to know how grateful I am for everything that you've already done.
We'll be fine, Calden.
And this is his brother's?
Yes, head matron. I spoke with Mirabas after Calden had visited the hall some days ago. She told me that his brother had intended this for him.
He rarely spoke of this brother of his.
Of course. His family likely was too ashamed to call him their blood. Their chimes would be in jeopardy.
As they are in your hands?
Ah, Calden. It's a pleasure to see you.
Likewise, head matron.
And Inspectore Gavar, it's been a while.
Head matron?
Now, Mariner, you are aware of the reason you have been called here?
I have my suspicions.
Your sleeve, then, if you will.
Matron, if I might have a...
Your sleeve, Calden. There, matron. It is true.
What is true, exactly?
Matron, I spoke of this earlier. That tattoo is proof that...
That what? Answer me precisely, if you would.
What do you mean?
Calden has a tattoo. And I do not see anything unusual about art on the skin.
But that tattoo is evidence that he deserves to be punished.
For what? Precisely.
He is Talios.
And is that my business, or is it his?
You are defending him.
As a matron should, for her own people.
This is against the laws of society.
Society governs those laws, songstress. And as the leader of a large part of that society, I choose to stand by this man.
This? No.
Orlana! Calden! Zelia.
I will call for Mirabas.
Thank you.
Man, that girl must really not like gay people. She's to cool it, slow her roll a little bit.
Orlana, please!
Stay back!
Please, Orlana, put the chime down!
Do not tell me what to do, beast! You corrupted my brother!
Listen to me, please!
How did you defile his mind?
I did not!
Liar! You must have fed him something, given him some poison to turn him into a beast like you!
I did no such thing.
He was my brother, and you took him away from me! I loved him!
As did I! You speak of poisons and defilement and treachery. The truth is far simpler. I loved him.
But you took him away from me. You took away my brother and replaced him with something else.
That is not true. He was always the same romantic, sentimental man that you grew up with. This doesn't change that. If there is a reason to be angry at me, it is because I was a coward. It was because of my fear of being honest about who I was, about what we were, that stopped me from giving him the support that he needed. When he needed it the most, I shouldn't have abandoned him. But I did. And I am sorry.
Sorry isn't going to bring my brother back.
Orlana!
Man, he didn't take your brother away, you took your brother away. Your inability to put, love in your heart. Well, that's not good.
Something's wrong.
Orlana!
Calden, the chime!
Help me, Cicero!
Cicero!
Matron, she was hit hard.
She will require extensive healing. Her pulse is barely there. I must take her down now, or she will not survive.
Go, Zelia. We'll handle this. Something is wrong. It is never this aggressive. What happened?
Orlana tried to feed it the chime, but it attacked her.
Attacked her? Ages. It's out of control. And the chime?
It took it.
And it's feeding off the song. We need to kill it. We cannot afford to let it remain like this.
What about the chime?
If we are quick enough, the song might survive. Sisters, prepare yourselves. I hope you're ready, Cicero.
As I'll ever be.
Now, Cicero!
Time for some of the old stabbity. Aim for the gonad. I think that thing right there is the gonad. It's the only way we'll defeat it. Unleash the gonad blast. Are we getting hit really hard right now? I think we are. Let's maybe not stand in that. Oh, hey. Look at that. Somebody's throwing me healing right now. Eat squirrel! Oh, do I have to kill these? I bet I have to kill these. So what does that stunt, like, if they don't keep their beams up, what does that do? Doesn't look like it does anything. It doesn't look like it makes them heal or anything. It looks like he's going down easy enough.
No.
Thank you, Cicero. That Fae, Aegis knows what happened to it.
I've always wondered why you songstresses wanted to keep people out.
That isn't the reason. For all the centuries the singing tree has been here, it's never acted like this. Oh,
What are you thinking?
something is happening. Something that we cannot see, that is on a level beyond us. It frightens me to wonder what it might be.
Indeed.
But it is settled, at least for now. As for other matters...
He's a good man, Mirabat. Saved Orlana when he could have saved the song.
And now that song is gone forever.
You will consider my request, though?
Society will not change, even if I do this, Cicero.
I'm not asking for it to. But please, even you can tell that he is deserving of better.
Perhaps I am being blinded by tradition, but I suppose I can do this. As a favor to him for saving the life of my songstress, even if she might not have been quite so generous.
Thank you, Mirabat.
I will tend to it now. I'll be back shortly.
How are you feeling?
The head matron has decided to leave the sail heart in my care. There's great consolation in that.
Calden, will you face me, please? Why? Tell me, Calden. Please.
It's not worth a life. Jax has taught me that.
When I went to the Sailheart, there were children there. Did they call Jax as their father?
They do,
Could I meet them?
of course.
That would be nice. I think I'll see you around.
I know it's not Razatov, but...
Take your heart, take my hand. I will lead you through storm and fire. The blood may thin, the bow may break, but our cradle will e'er be shared. The wound will heal, the songs will ring, and soon again will your spirit sing. Take my heart, take your hand. I await you in promised land.
All right, big man.
Man, I thought you were gonna carry me out of here. I thought that was the whole point of this thing. Now I gotta walk my ass all the way back to the entrance. What's the point of having big-ass friends if they don't carry you places? That's like 90% of the reason that I hang out with everybody over 5'8". So I can just be like, hey, just in case I ever get wounded, you can carry me.
Rise, my brethren. It is found.
Is your face all right? You haven't stopped smiling since we left the hall.
It's just... all my life I've lived in fear, and now... you've changed my life, Cicero.
Oh, come now. I didn't do...
You showed me that even in a city of secrets and shadows, the truth has a place in our hearts and is worth fighting for. I know the city isn't going to change because of what we've done, and the Hall of Songs probably isn't going to sail to different winds overnight. But you've made a difference, Cicero. In my life, at least. Know that.
I think I might have needed this ordeal as much as you.
Come on. Let's see if our Fae friend is back.
That's true, he was pretty adorable. I'd be looking out for him nonstop. He'd be like my new little buddy. I'd let him ride on my shoulder everywhere. Why are there so many cats around here? You know this place has to reek like cat piss. This entire place is like 150 cats around here. I have 2 cats in my house and it smells like cat piss all the time. And they're potty trained. Just that box stinks. It's one of the least favorite things I have about cats.
It's not sharp with spires. It's more of a tall dome.
What's going on?
Keep going. Salting. I can't believe I hadn't seen this earlier.
You've lost me.
It was the key to understanding Dementicler. Adoran Vamus, the first man who salted and retained a portion of his mind, could, during his lucid moments, read, write, and speak Dementicler, just like Vasco. He was the cornerstone upon which all research into the language was based.
What are you saying?
I'm saying it's a bridge. Salting connects the 2 souls, the 2 minds, the 2 spirits, whatever you want to call them. And it happens when we use the Masquerine's powers too strongly, tap too deeply into another soul.
So they're connected?
Exactly. And now, all the stories of the past are at our fingertips. Imagine all that we could learn now that we understand this connection.
Right. So what's the poor bloodling done to deserve this?
Vasco's claimed that he's had a few memories that seem to have been left over by the Dementicate, who'd been his Masquerine. He thinks he can see what the city might have looked like. We're trying to replicate it.
Remember, bulbous.
I think I've got it.
And that's it?
Let me see. What does it look like? I don't quite know what to make of it.
Vasco.
I can make out a long tower over there, but...
Amadea, that's not a tower. That's a man, with his trousers down. That's his,
Vasco! Will you please take this seriously?
I only see vague images. Nalior, not enough for anything substantial.
I suppose it was worth a try. Rotten swine, you.
Well, now that everything's settled down, I think we've kept our questions in the shadows for long enough.
about the sunken star. Right. You'd best sit down.
First we learn that Masquerades are Dementicate, and now you're telling me that they're Fae as well.
It makes sense. The increase in the mists in the recent years corresponds with the destruction of the hundreds of Masquerades in the War of Bearings.
This is incredulous, Inspectore. The Fae have been around since time immemorial, and no one has managed to learn where they've come from.
Until now. Think about it, Marshal. Masquerades and Fae. Two things that have existed before the city was even built. Is it really so surprising that they're related?
And Lucia was led by one of them?
Is. If I could get out of there alive, I'm certain she made it through as well. But, yes. She's being led by a Fae they call the Lady. Being Dementicate, she has knowledge of the world that we haven't even glimpsed.
You said she's trying to stop another cataclysm from occurring.
She mentioned something about uniting the city, bringing the artifacts together. She handed me some scrolls about Dementicate history to read, but I haven't had the time.
Well, now we do. It's not a long record. It explains the downfall of their civilization. In summary, the single event that served as the pivot for the success of their empire was a civil war.
Sounds familiar.
What was this war about?
The artifacts. For a long time, they were used by the Dementicate to push the boundaries of their empire.
Which supports what we found at the Conoscenza.
But it couldn't last forever.
Not with the way the artifacts worked.
Calden!
The way they worked. Inspectore.
I'm sorry, Marshal. The artifacts were what were responsible for turning the souls of the Dementicate into Masquerades. They created the Dementicate's power.
And everyone knows this?
Marshal, I wanted to tell you.
Carry on.
Tiziana...
Stop wasting my time. How did the Dementicate fall?
When the artifacts were received by the Dementicate, they initially sacrificed their prisoners to create the Masquerades. When their empire expanded, they began to turn to ordinary men and women instead. As you can imagine, that did not end well.
Uprisings?
Exactly. Their empire was cleaved in two, those who wanted to continue using the artifacts, and those that demanded that they be kept away, saying that it cost them too much.
Well, the artifacts are nowhere to be found, so I assume the latter faction won.
Correct. And that is when their empire began to crumble. Without the powers of the artifacts, they couldn't stand against the chaos of the world.
Chaos?
It isn't explained exactly what it was, but I think it is safe to assume that it's related to the cataclysm.
If these scrolls don't mention what the cataclysm is, then why does Lucia believe another is in store for us?
I don't know. But what I do know is that she believes that she needs to unite the city, and she intends to do that by overthrowing the registry. Just on time.
Kadek?
Asam Bel Ia.
Arish?
Asam Bel Ia.
The Assemblia.
It wants us to go to the Altus.
The Misted Isles.
Ah, of course.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
The Misted Isles. A set of monuments left behind by the Dementicate. The Altus built the Assemblia around it to keep people out. Vasco, what's on these monuments that it wants us to see? Can't it just tell us what's on it?
Avar?
Don Sivnia, Santa, Atavar.
No, they're guarded, and he doesn't remember precisely, but he promises they're important.
It's all right. At least now we have a lead.
Tiziana should go with you. The relationship between the Altus and the Luca is the strongest of all between the Semora. It might help ease our way in.
Well, do I smell hesitation?
Fine.
Better get ready then.
So off we go, as far as I know. So many little conversations to be had in this game. They're like everywhere.
Cicero, about earlier.
I suppose she had to find out eventually.
My mind has just been so overwhelmed. Keeping secrets seemed like the least of our concerns, especially now with tides.
What's bothering you?
Lucia. She's being led by a demented Hate who's been around longer than all our legacies combined. It just worries me what we're standing up against.
We've come this far, haven't we?
I suppose we have. All right. Chins up then.
You just said we had 2 chins. I know what you're trying to pull right here. Sneaky, underhanded comments like that.
Marshal.
Inspectore.
You know why I did what I did.
I do. It's because you don't trust me.
I trust you perfectly fine. Your guild, on the other hand.
After all this time, you still don't see it.
I'm sorry?
I am my guild, Inspectore. With hindsight, I suppose I should have made that clearer. Might have spared us both some inconvenience.
Ages. It makes so much sense.
Talking to yourself again?
Just thinking about the behavior of the Fae. The way they respond to the old world, like the Kilgan and the Cleaver. So careful not to touch the relics. Or those in the pin drop. And the way they shied away from the statue of their god. I always thought they exhibited such strange behaviors because of some inherent power in the relics or something. But they must remember that the items were part of their world. For all I know, the Kilgan could have been my custodial predecessors thousands of years ago.
You're rather quick to humanize them. I don't think most Fae remember who they once were.
Not fully, perhaps, but there is a sliver of humanity in each. That's what the Scythe are. Fragments of humanity used as a seed for the Fae to be born out of. It might be merely a fragment, true, but still. I shouldn't let this get too much in the way. We have work that needs to be done, and I'm sure there'll be time. Later.
Hell yeah, let's just load up on the cart. We got stuff to do today. We got things to complete. Let's biggity bounce.
Hasn't anyone told you it's rude to stare?
Sir, are we really traveling with that thing?
It needs to follow us, so yes.
Does it, understand us?
Perhaps. It certainly isn't stupid.
Right. Well, anyway, where are we going today, sir?
The Assembler, please.
Right away.
I'll bring Calden. Going double tank party. Oh yeah, taunting all day long. All the threat is our threat.
You need to hide.
Comfortable?
Well, we can't have a Fae walking around with us now, can we? Let's go.
Alright, we got ourselves a new plant down here to the south. Yup, throw that in the bag. And then it is time for me to bid you all farewell. Once again, kind of a quiet episode, and I think there's going to be a lot of those because there's lots and lots of talking in this game. I will see you all in the next episode of Masquerada. If you want to get the game for yourself, I've got it all nice and linked up for you down below. Thanks for stopping on in, and I will see you tomorrow when we recommence our journeys here